Hello YouTubers and welcome to my very first YouTube tutorial video, and I'm pretty excited to share this with you guys, so I hope you're excited as well. So I'm gonna be honest, I've been hesitant on creating these one-line drawing tutorials, mainly because I never really viewed this style as something that you can teach. I always just thought it was sort of an exercise or something that I would do in the morning to clear my head, and I always found it very therapeutic, so it was like an exercise for me. But hey, you guys have been asking for it, so I thought, you know what? Why not give the people what they want, right? Since this is my first tutorial, I wanted to take the opportunity to share one of my favorite things to draw in one line, and that is a dog. Specifically, an American Pit Bull Terrier. Why that is? I spent a few years volunteering at the local dog shelter here, and I immediately fell in love with the breed and even adopted one on my first day as a volunteer. So, so I've been really drawn to the breed ever since, and there's something about their features that I find really unique, and I think that translates really well into contour drawing. But that's not to say that other breeds don't hold up as well. In fact, you can check out my Instagram or my website to see all of the different breeds that I've done in the past. So about 90% of the videos that I've shared on my YouTube channel are drawings that I've created on the iPad inside the Procreate app. But for today, I thought it'd be kind of cool to use a more traditional medium, such as this Copic brush marker. And maybe later I can show you what that looks like compared to one that's done on the iPad. And if you're interested in the materials that I'm using today, I'll make sure to leave some links down below. And I'll also share some of the mediums that I'd like to use in a separate tutorial. Now, before we begin, I do want to make it clear that there is no right way of doing this. My goal for you is to get you to feel comfortable with moving your hand across the paper where it looks and feels effortless. And the only way to achieve that is by practicing. And practice makes progress. Okay, so let's get started. I always start at the top of the dog's head, and I move to my right where I draw the ear and go down to the cheekbone, up to the eyebrow, to the eye, and then to the jowls. So I always try to draw as much as I can on the right side of the paper because I am left-handed, and then this allows me to be able to see what I'm drawing once I get to the left side of the paper. You can see that I briefly pause right at the eye to kind of show you that once I have those three elements, the ear, the cheekbone, and the eye, this kind of gives me a little bit of a guide to creating everything else within proportion. Now, you don't have to keep anything in proportion if you don't want. Remember, the beautiful thing about one-line drawing is that there is no right or wrong way of doing this, and really it's a great form of exercise to get you loosened up. So this is just a style that I've developed over the years, and it's worked for me. You just have to find your style and be comfortable with doing it the way you want to do it. So that wasn't too bad. You can see with the Copic brush pen that you don't really get a lot of variety of line thickness as you would if you were to use maybe a calligraphy pen or the Apple Pencil. You can go back in with the brush marker and maybe touch up some areas to give it a little more thickness to help create that illusion of depth. What's really great about the Copic brush pens is that it does a really great job of blending. So that way when you can kind of go over those lines, it creates a soft gradient. Now you can see there's a little more contrast in the line thickness. Well, guys, I think that wraps up my very first YouTube tutorial. It's kind of crazy. I really appreciate you guys all sticking it up with me. Um, I hope you learn a thing or two, and I hope that you give it a shot. If you do and decide to share it like on Instagram, please feel free to tag me at WithOneLine. And if you're interested in different subjects that you would like to see a tutorial on, please feel free to leave it in the comments. I do hope to post more tutorials for you guys. I will share a more in-depth tutorial on how I got started, some tips and tricks to get you guys started, and some inspiration that I use in maybe different mediums that I use. And also, if you guys are predominantly iPad users, maybe I can help get you set up in Procreate, because I do get a lot of questions on which brushes I use. I do have some custom ones that I've created myself. I haven't really shared them with anyone, so maybe again, if that's something you guys are interested in, I'd be happy to share it with you guys. Hit the subscribe button and like button, because I guess that helps the YouTube algorithm, right? But thanks again so much, and yeah, have a great one.